Hello! Welcome to a brand new yet exciting Doctor Who review. And this time, if you cannot tell, by the way I've displayed some nice little figures behind me, it is no other than the epic two-part story of World Enough and Time and the Doctor Falls. I just love this two-parter so much because you don't have just one version of the Cybermen. You have three versions of the Cybermen, two versions of the Master. Bill gets shot in this, and the Doctor's companion Belle, she dies, and then she doesn't because she ends up going down to the bottom of the ship where time is a lot faster than it is on the bridge because of orbiting a black hole, where they're trying to reverse out of the black hole, but it's made time go a lot slower. Oh yeah, that's a bit of a doozy. But anyway, Bill gets shot by some people after trying to save him, after trying to warn them. So at the start of this, you have the Doctor materializing the TARDIS with Missy, Bill and Nardole. So to test how good Missy is, he decides to put it to the test with two of his interested companions. Now soon after arriving there, things go shit for him. Bill, as I say, ends up getting shot, taken down to the laboratory of the bottom of the ship. And then she spends like 10 years there. 10 years! And then she comes out converted into a Cyberman. And not just any Cyberman. A Mondasian Cyberman. I love how dramatic the first part is because one, it builds up in so much stuff. It builds up so much stuff. You got this guy, aka Russell, who is basically in disguise, somebody in disguise. I'm not going to say who that is just yet. I want to save that a little bit of surprise for you. But I absolutely do love this episode. This two-part, it builds up so much. So we have the return of the Mondasian Cyberman. I just love how it builds up so much when you have Russell going, "Hello, Missy." And then you got Missy don't know who he is at first, and he goes to me. I just love how the Master just disguised himself as this idiotic, kind of moronish kind of person, and then he takes off the disguise. And he goes, "If it happened to be someone's former Prime Minister." And I just love the way he goes. And I love how he takes off the disguise. And you got that so much build up. And then you got the Doctor with Nardole. And then he goes, "Hello, Missy. I'm the Master. And I'm very worried about my future. Give us a kiss." I just love how that is very John Sims Master. He's in a disguise. I love how he goes back to the kind of roots of a disguise. "I'm the Master. And I'm very worried about my future." I just love that. And then you got them like talking about the Project X Darius, something like that. I can't remember the actual name of it. Such a very, very long and complicated word for me to try and say. But I love it where you got them talking to like Bill, and then Missy comes out behaving, and then you got literally the like Missy talking to the Doctor and Nardole, and then just behind them you have the Master going, "In fact, I call it a Genesis." And then you have Missy going, "You met the X?" And he goes, "Specifically, Genesis of the Cybermen." And I just love how you have that massive drum beat for the Master and the Doctor's face when he just looks so shocked and horrid. And then you have Bill going, "I waited for you." And then it just goes straight to the cliffhanger into the Doctor Falls. I just so love that epic bit of Doctor Who because I waited for you. And then and I just love how John Sim acts so much as the Master in this, because I don't want the Master in the End of Time. I do have a lot of problems with the End of Time. One, how they treated the Master. I will say this when I do my actual physical review of this story, because I do think it's a really, really bad story for Doctor Who, really. The End of Time is the worst, to be honest with you. Out of all the Christmas specials and stuff, I really don't like The End of Time. So when John Sim came back as the Master, I was over the moon for this, because he deserves a proper good episode to leave in. A proper amazing type episode, and he got it in this. And he's the reason that so these different types of Cybermen are basically about. So in this, it feels like the Cybermen do become the Master's bitch again. Sorry but to say this, but in Dark Water, Death in Heaven, the Cybermen become the Master's bitch. In this episode, exactly the same thing happens, but with two Masters, and the Cybermen just kind of get a little bit drawn out. And then the same thing happens again in Associate the Cybermen and the Timeless Children. Basically, with the Timeless Children, when they have the Master turning up with the Cybermen and making them into the Cyber Masters. Yeah. The Cybermen have got a habit, like, very lately, since 2014, becoming the Master's bitch. Very muchly so, in nearly every episode they have been in. Every time you see a Cyberman, it's like, oh yeah, Cyberman. Oh no, the Master's in it. But this ain't the cause for that. It is a little bit. I just love the Doctor Falls, because one, you have 3 different types of Cybermen. The Doctor's changed their biological code so they can try and get Time Lords, so they can turn the Doctor, Missy and the Master, so they can track them down and become Cybermen. And I just love how the Doctor goes, how does it feel to be on the menu? I just love that bit. My favourite scene out of the entire whole lot of the Doctor Falls, I have to say, is so much stuff where you got the whole speech with him, with the Master goes, what do you think this is what I care about, winning? I don't do what I do because it's right, because it's decent, and above all, it's kind. I just love how the Doctor does, Peter Capaldi's Doctor does an epic speech. And as you can tell, I'm actually wearing, if I can show you carefully, my Peter Capaldi kind of cosplay, because I do love Capaldi's costume. I just love everything about Capaldi's Doctor. He is my 3rd favourite Doctor. This is my 3rd favourite series finale, because my 1st favourite is Battle for Point of the Ways. My 2nd favourite is The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. This is my 3rd favourite, because I can't find anything wrong about this episode. I just love it so much. And I love how the Doctor delivers the speech to the Master, and the Master just goes, you see this face? This is the face that never listened to a word you just said. And then you have Missy just go, likewise. I like how you have the whole Missy and the Master kind of like thing in this, where the Master goes, is it wrong that I fancy myself? And it kind of like that. It just goes, is it a bit wrong that I just like, she goes, yes. Very much so, because so in a way, the Master fancies his future self, who is a woman. So yeah, the Master just loves himself. Yeah, you can just actually fully say it. The Master's in love with himself. I just love that bit, that little flirting little thing between John Sim's Master and Michelle Gomez's Missy. Missy is the future version of the Master. I just can't find anything wrong with this finale. It's just such an epic one. And my favourite scene is when you got the whole bit when you have the Master killing the Master. So literally Missy stabs the Master, she goes, you've got time for a good cup of tea before you regenerate. And the Master just goes, I just killed you with a sonic laser. No time to regenerate. After they were arguing about going to save the Doctor. Now, I love the whole bit of the music, because they just use the Shepherd's Boy for this. And I just love that so much, because I do like the Shepherd's Boy. I love how it becomes Capaldi's theme from this, and of course in the next episode after this one as well. And I just absolutely love it, because where you've got the 12th Doctor standing up to a whole army of Cybermen, with the Mondasian Cybermen, the Russell T Davies and the Moffat Cybermen. And I just love where the Doctor just goes straight to him. He goes, Teros, I see it in your tombs. Volga, Canary Wharf. And he literally goes behind and goes, Planet 14. And every single time you lose, you even lost on the moon. I just love that so much, that whole music and stuff. And when he gets shot by a Cyberman, he goes, hello, I'm the Doctor. Doctors are not required. And then he ends up getting shot again. And then he goes, no, I am not a doctor. I am the Doctor. The original, you might say. And he gets shot again. And he literally just sees his hand, like the regeneration coming out of his hand. He goes, Doctor, let it go. Had enough. And then he literally points to something and blows up the whole spaceship with all of them in, with the Cyberman. Bill somehow survives. Now, I get very confused how Bill survives as the Cyber in cyber form, because if all the other Cybermen got blown up by the 12th Doctor, how the hell did Bill not get blown up as well? But the thing is, though, the Doctor dies for a very little bit of this, because you see Bill kind of get turned into the water creature. And I just love that bit. I love how in the TARDIS you just see a little bit of the regeneration happening. And then you have all the Doctor's companions. Apart from Rory and Nardole, you have... And then I just love how the Doctor just pops up and goes, Santara's perfecting the course of human history. I don't want to go. When he's like saying different random stuff for the Doctor, and he goes, I will always remember when the Doctor was me. And I literally like how he does that, like from Matt Smith. He goes, it started. I'm regenerating. No! 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 And he literally snaps and stops the full-on regeneration. He goes, I don't want to change. I don't want to change ever again. I can't keep being somebody else. Whatever it is, I'm staying put. And he just walks at the TARDIS doors, and then you just have that bit with him collapsing in the snow, and he's like about literally to start regenerating. He's like there going, no! And then he literally slams his hands into the snow. I love that bit as well, where he literally just slams his hands into the snow, and then he goes, I will not change. And then all of a sudden you hear a voice, and now us Doctor Who fans know who this voice is. Goes, change? No, 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 no. Oh, dear me, no. And he goes, who's that? Who is that? And he goes, I'm the Doctor. And he goes, no, my dear boy, no. You see, you may be a Doctor, but I am the Doctor. The original, you might say. And all of a sudden, the first Doctor just comes out of the snow, and then it ends on that massive cliffhanger, and we had to wait from June for this all the way up to December in 2017. Ah, such a very long wait. Such a very long wait. Now, ranking these two episodes, they're both 10 out of 10. I just love this absolutely fantastic story. I love how the Cybermen, I love all the the three different versions of them. I was a little bit disappointed that you didn't see the Tomb of the Cybermen, or the Moon-based Cybermen, or the William Space Cybermen, or the Invasion, or Revenge, or Earthshock Cybermen. Because I think that would have been cool to see the Cybermen just progress along in this episode, where you start off with the Mondasian and go straight all the way up to the Moffat ones. But I would have loved to see the Earthshock Cybermen in this, in the actual whole army scene. And the way all the Cybermen just go flying, I'd love that as well. So this is my review on Doctor Who, World Enough of Time and the Doctor Falls. As you can tell, I really do love this episode. I just love it so much. I've actually watched this 3 times last night after what I literally just finished watching one of my favourite film franchises. And I watched it, and I literally turned this on about 11, and I watched it twice, and then I watched it this morning. I got up at 6 o'clock to get ready for work. So when I looked, I had about an hour, like an hour and a half before I had to get ready for work. I just stayed in bed and we watched this entire whole 2 episodes, because these 2 episodes are generally the bomb. I love World Enough of Time and the Doctor Falls. I just find it. I find World Enough of Time really, really slow, but it's still a 10 out of 10. It's like really, really slow. The pacing of it's really, really slow. But it's so worth it when you get to the final episode. And then when you get to the Doctor Falls, it is just a bang out, straight awesome, epic finale for any Doctor Who series. I just love it so much. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe and share to my channel, and join me again for another Doctor Who review soon. And I hope you all have a very good evening.